Estonian Foreign Ministry will be hosting a networking event where the Estonian and Namibian business leaders, officials and industry experts will engage and discuss opportunities. The purpose of the event is also to create a valuable network and foster thought-provoking discussions that will benefit both Estonia and Namibia. Well, for more details, we are now joined in the studio by Marin Ratnik, the Undersecretary for Economic and Development Affairs for the Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Well, good afternoon, ma'am, and welcome to our studio, and also welcome to Namibia.
Thank you so much, Blanche, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, before we get into the gist of the interview, maybe just tell us the core cooperation areas between Namibia and Estonia.
Yeah, Estonia has been cooperating with Namibia in the basically four core topics. So it's digitalization, green transformation, education, and also educational technologies and building digital skills.
So with this networking event, are those the areas that you will be strictly focusing on, or what are some of the other cooperation areas that Estonia has in mind to expand or to deepen relations with Namibia?
These would be actually the areas where we would like to deepen our cooperation, as you rightly said, because we have already started. We have had several projects ongoing here with Namibia, with Namibian governments, but also businesses working here together, building the digital network in Namibia. So in this workshop, we are looking forward to have more business-to-business contacts, but also learn more from Namibian transformation when it comes to the digital transformation, but also green technology, for example.
Now, Estonia, the Baltic state, just like Namibia, has a small population. However, it's ranked as high-income advanced economy, something that Namibian government is also striving to bring the country on. What has been the working model for Estonia in this regard?
So it's excellent that you ask that, because I think there are certain similarities that our countries share. I mean, we regained our independence in '91. As a small country, had to start everything from the scratch. So with limited resources, with open economy as we saw us, digitalization, for example, was one of the strong elements that helped us with very little resources, but bringing a lot of efficiency with limited number of people, as we have, as you mentioned, as Namibia does have, but providing more services and simpler services for the citizens.
Well, Namibia is also pushing for that same digital society as well as e-governance. What then would be your advice, using its small population just like Estonia?
Yes, very good question. We are here to actually share our experience from that period, but also from now. We just had several meetings also, for example, in the Ministry of ICT and also in the Ministry of International Cooperation. So as we heard, there is also this logic here to have a broad analysis how the different digital services and possibilities might help every person here in the country, how to reach with every service that the government is providing to every citizen. So how to facilitate the digital access to the services. So we have gone that path, as I said before, and I think we could offer that experience to learning from our path in that regard, and also, for example, to help to learn from our mistakes in order to avoid that.
Now, Undersecretary, with the access to technology or the increase in the use of technology, obviously has its own challenges as well. How did Estonia, if any, deal with those challenges?
So the challenges is, of course, first of all, to create a network, for example, for internet, to have it making accessible to everybody. So the other challenge has been to create a strong digital identity in form from the ID card, for example, that everybody can use via this digital identity, have access to the government services. We have built all this together in the cooperation with the government, private sector and civil society in order to have a broad range support for it.
So it has to be multi-stakeholder process.
Absolutely, and has been strongly supported. Also legislation, for example, is needed to support this development, and political leadership has been key for us as well.
Now, this networking event that you'll be hosting, after the event itself, just so the decisions taken or the opportunities explored will not just lie around and the papers gather dust, how then will there be follow-up activities or just the practical, talk to us about the practical side of the networking event after the main event?
So the practical side is, of course, that we are seeking for opportunities for us as a government, looking for contacts and interests that Namibia might have in all these different spheres to go ahead with the different projects. Digital skills, for example, is one of those. But also, of course, that we want to have the opportunity to businesses to keep the contacts and widen them in order to, for example, we have one company providing for children, for schools, the technology to help remotely learn. So I think these are the opportunities we see, but also going ahead with the political consultations, for example, and exchanging of high-level visits. So just to have a broad range of contacts between our countries in order to have different opportunities explored for businesses, for government interrelations, and also as Estonia as a EU member state, to have also the wider range of projects that we can work with.
Seeing that Namibia also signed that agreement with the EU Commission. Well, Under Secretary, just before I let you go, where and when the networking event will take place, and how can Namibians and Estonian companies also operating here access it?
So I just learned from the meeting with the Deputy Minister for ICT that this has been a highly popular event. It has been already oversigned, I think, of the people wanting to participate, which makes us very happy. So I'm looking forward, of course, all those that watching us that still have an opportunity to join us and have this chance to have this context to be built.
All right, then thank you so much for that update. All right, then.
Thank you.
Well, that was the Under Secretary for Economic and Development Affairs for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's the Estonian Ministry, and that's Marin Radnik, who is in the country for a range of events that includes Namibian and Estonian businesses exploring opportunities into different areas. Well, moving